Let's go ahead and review our study guide. Here we had to write each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. So we should have written 72/8 and then simplified both the top and the bottom. And we can divide them each by 8 and we get 9 pencils to 1 eraser. Okay, so make sure you've added labels to your answers. Let's go ahead. You go ahead and check the next few. Go ahead and check your answers for 2 and 3. Remember, on 3, it's 1 to 1. We still need that 1 on the bottom there. Number 4, once you got your ratio, you tell me how you simplified it. You should have simplified it down to 2 kids for every 1 adult. Let's go ahead here and express each rate as a unit rate. What does a unit rate mean? Everybody should know now. 1. So you want to round your answer to the nearest tenth or nearest cent if necessary. So hopefully you set up your ratios first and did your division. When you divide, this one goes in evenly, so it's 49 employees for every 1 year. For our second one, you should have set up your ratio, $1,056 for every 6 people. Pause the video and tell me what you got per every 1 person. When you did your division here, you should have gotten $176 per every 1 person. On number 3, when you did your division, we get 1.5. How do we write 1.5 though in terms of money? Put in what you got for your answer for number 7. You should have put $1.50 for every 1 cup. On number 8 here, when we do our division, this is one that comes out to a long stream of numbers. Remember, once we get to the thousands place, you can stop. Now you need to see, what does this round to? Does it round to $70.52? Or $70.53. Yes, this one rounds to $70.52. I almost said 53 cents, but there's a 1 here, so it stays as it was. This next section, we need to see if the ratio forms a proportion. So use your cross multiplying to see if your diagonals are equal. So we're going to check here. 45 times 2 would give me 90. I look at my other diagonal here. 12 times 3 is 36. So these are not equal. Some of you guys saw this symbol on the math test and you weren't sure what it means. That means not equal. So you could write it or you could use that symbol. Let's go ahead and check the other one. This has a decimal with it, so you had to do a little bit more work with your multiplying. Did this ratio here on number 10 come out proportional? Tell me yes or no. You should have gotten yes, because once we multiply and add our decimals back in, we can see both sides equal 56/100ths. Let's go ahead down here where we're solving for our proportion. So remember, we're going to do the same. We're going to use that cross multiplying. So I'm going to multiply on my diagonal first. When I multiplied, I got 5,544, and I know my other side has to equal the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do my division now, because I know 35 times something equals 5,544. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide to solve this here. Once we divide here, we can see it goes in evenly 158 4/10 times. So that's what my x equals. That was a big division question. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that one correct. Okay, you go ahead and tell me what you got here for what n equals. Remember, set up your proportion. Tell me, what does n equal? When you were dividing on this one, don't forget to move that decimal over, move that decimal over. So we're really dividing 12 into 14.4. So check that you did that there. You should have gotten that n equals 1.2. Nice job. These are tricky. Okay, go ahead and try the next one. Tell me what you got for r here. Here's another one. Don't forget that you needed to move the decimal, move the decimal. So once you move the decimal, what did you get here? You should have gotten 2.1. Our r equals 2.1. Let's go ahead and check the page. Our next question says, Miss Soresco is making fruit punch that consists of 7 quarts of juice and 1 quart of soda water. How much soda water does she need if she has 12 quarts of juice? So we've got to set up our ratios. I have 7 quarts of juice to 1 quart of soda water. And if 12 is my juice, I'm going to put the 12 on top. I'm going to put an S in here for soda water. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my cross multiplying to solve. Once you get here, remember, we can round to the nearest hundredths, please. So S is going to equal 1.71 here, quarts of soda water. Let's try our next one. The map has a scale of 1 inch to 55 miles. How many inches on the map would represent 300 miles? So I'm going to do the same thing. 1 inch for 55 miles. I'm going to put my 300 on the bottom of my ratio since it matches where the miles is. I'm going to put an I up here for inch because that's what we're solving for. So now I'm going to use my cross multiplying. 300 times 1 is 300. So 55 times something has to equal 300. Do that division to solve. Here, tell me what you get for this question when you divide. This one again goes on for a while, so we can round this one to 5.45 for our inches there. Let's take a look at the next one. On a set of blueprints, the scale is half an inch for every 6 feet. Find the actual length of the room that measures 2.8 inches. So I'm going to set it up, my inches to my feet, and I'm going to put my inches on the top. I'm going to put an F for feet. I'm going to cross multiply there. I get 16.8. So now I'm going to set up my problem here, and how do I solve it? I need to divide. And remember, if we have a decimal in our divisor, you gotta move that decimal out of your divisor first. Go ahead and do your division now and tell me what you get. Okay, check this one here. This one actually ends. You should have gotten 33.6 when you did your division. Okay, let's check our next one here. Mrs. Feynman decides to buy a sports drink. Her choices are a 20 ounce bottle for $1.55. Let me write that one down. Remember, the price always goes on the top. Or a 32-ounce bottle for $2.49. Which is a better buy? How can you solve this question? We need to divide to find the unit rate. When we divide this first one here, now we need to round to the nearest penny. So I'm going to look at that thousandths place. Since it's a 7, I know this rounds up to 8 cents an ounce. This one as well, I need to round here. So if I'm looking, this is a 7 as well. So what does it look like? Is there actually a better deal? It looks like they're both about the same price per ounce. They would be the same. Wow, what are the chances of that? Okay, let's go ahead and try the last one. The directions on a bag of fertilizer indicate that one bag is enough to fertilize 2.2 acres. I'm going to write that ratio. One bag for 2.2 acres. Explain how a farmer could find the number of bags he would need for 88 acres, then solve. So you could have shown this with your math work, or you could have written it, right? And I'll put a B for bags there by showing me your cross multiplying. And then you're dividing 2.2 times a certain number of bags. And we divide. Tell me, what did you get when you did your division? Remember, move that decimal out. Move that decimal over. Go ahead and do your division. When you divided, you should have gotten 40 bags. 40 bags. Nice job. Okay, now that you're finished checking your study guide, you need to go ahead and start on your math space. That's right. Now that you're finished, start on your math space. Thanks for watching.